With the bug fix to Blind Fury in 10.0.7, the last video I did on this subject is now obsolete. But with this change, there actually is a very interesting decision between taking 1 point in Blind Fury for your AoE or 1 point in Burning Hatred for your AoE. In today's video, we're going to discuss that and which one you should take in different scenarios. So if you watched my last video on this subject, then you probably know that Blind Fury itself was actually bugged in its implementation. However, that has now been fixed. I changed the title of that last video. People are still watching it though, so good for them, but that has been hotfixed. But instead, with this change now, we have the actual Blind Fury implementation, and we're left with a pretty interesting choice. So right now in this build, we basically have a few flex points, but we have one Fury generational flex point, and that is Burning Hatred. So Burning Hatred causes your Immolation Aura to generate an additional 60 Fury over its duration, so 12 seconds. But it's actually really good now to drop that out and pick up a point in Blind Fury. This is a pretty large damage increase. I'll throw out my sim right here. So if I do a D-Slice sim with this, I have 114 506 DPS, yada yada yada, whatever. And it's actually about 2,000 DPS over not having Blind Fury. So the change to this talent, making it dual just more damage and not increased duration, are actually really good. Now, of course, this says its damage and duration are increased by 10%, yada yada yada. That is technically true. It's whatever. But the duration increase is effectively negligible. So now with this change, with this 2,000 DPS increase for taking this talent, it's a very interesting choice between Burning Hatred and between Blind Fury. So today we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about which scenarios you want to do with it. Of course, if you like the video, drop a like, comment down below, helps spread the video to more people, helps the algorithm. And if you really enjoy, hit the sub button. If you watch my videos often, just double check that you're subbed. YouTube will often just show you things and you're recommended, and you won't actually be subbed, and that would really help me out. We are so close to 5,000. Oh, well, I wouldn't say so close, but we're on our way there. So with that, we'll dive in. So I've done a bunch of math for this video. I have not done math in about a year. I'm currently taking a year off from school for my university. So my math might not be 100% correct, but effectively, what Blind Fury does is it gives you 20 Fury every second, which works out to 40 Fury every time you push I-Beam. Now, if we take I-Beam, it's a 40-second cooldown. 40 Fury every 40 seconds is a 1-to-1 ratio, so that is 60 Fury every minute. Now, if we look at Burning Hatred, it's a little bit more complex. So, Immolation Aura itself has a varied cooldown. You can see here it's 28 seconds. If I go into meta, just by I-Beaming, it is 23 seconds. And that 23 seconds will last for roughly 8 seconds. So, 8 seconds every 40 seconds. We have a 23-second cooldown, and then outside of that, it's a 28-second cooldown. Now, over the space of a minute, you can average that out to around a 27-second cooldown, since the 23 seconds doesn't last for very long. So it's around a 27-second cooldown. So every 27 seconds, you're getting 60 Fury. Now, over a minute, you can average that out to about 2.23 uses of Blind Fury per minute, Immolation Aura per minute. And I know you can't actually do a 0.23 usage, but I'm just equaling things out over a minute for comparison. And that will give you a 133.8 Fury per minute. So in terms of raw Fury generation, this gives you 60, and this gives you 133.8, give or take, roughly. So this talent alone is worth about twice as much Fury generation as Blind Fury is. But what are you actually doing with that Fury? Well, of course, you are using your Fury on Blade Dance and Throw Glaive. Those are very strong AoE buttons. But with all that extra Fury generation, all we're basically doing is sinking it into Chaos Drakes. In natural gameplay, you should just have enough Fury to always be Blade Dancing and always be throwing Glaives. Then you're just using your extra Fury into those Chaos Drakes. So by taking this talent, basically it's just giving us more Chaos Drakes. And Chaos Drakes aren't very powerful. Now, if we drop this out to Blind Fury, we redo my talent setup here a bit. We hop back into the testing, into the AoE dummies here. I push my Immolation Aura, and yes, I don't get anywhere near as much Fury. We'll spend down a bit here, actually. I only get 20 Fury over the duration instead of the 60 I would have had before. But when I push I-Beam, I actually generate 40 Fury from it. And that makes a really consistent burst window with your death sweeps and all that stuff. So It gives you that I-beam damage. 10% is a good bit, especially when you're doing it. Like, look here, I-beam did a ton of damage there. And you'll see I-beam do a lot of damage with this build. Basically, though, all you want to do in the difference is to just not Chaos Strike as much. So it does feel worse taking the I-beams, right? You basically only Chaos Strike if you're capped. You don't really want to use it otherwise. But that damage for I-beam is so big. You can see here, it's literally just pretty massive, which is 1 point in this talent. So I do think it's actually worth it to take it. So again, less Fury generation. Yeah, that's kind of poor. It feels worse. But the damage you get from I-beam is kind of crazy, especially with your meta. 2 I-beams is just a lot. This is literally 2 casts, right? And every 40 seconds, you'll have this big nuke of a AoE ability. I think it's important to think about that. Yes, the Fury will feel bad, but all you want to do if you're running this Blind Fury, instead of Burning Hatred, is to just use Chaos Strike less. Chaos Strike as an ability is not very good in AoE. If we go in here, and I just hit a Chaos Strike once, it did... Here we go. I guess a crit for 12,000. Now if I throw out 1 Glaive, or I throw out 1 Blade Dance, and we look at the breakdown again here, I'll let the dots tick out. Throw Glaive itself costs less Fury than Chaos Strike, and did about as much. Also put out Burning Wound, also put out Soul Rend, so Throw Glaive was much more damage than Chaos Strike was, and these things are still ticking. Blade Dance did a ton of damage, so did Trail of Ruin. So pound for pound, your other AoE buttons are just much better than Chaos Strike. So just dropping out a little bit of Chaos Strike, a little bit of priority damage for just this big I-beam nuke, as well as a very consistent Essence Break window, I think honestly is very worth it. Yes, you have to be careful and not Chaos Strike as much, but by not Chaos Striking as much, it also frees up more globals for stops, for stuns, stuff like that. So again, take this as you will. Decide how you want to play. If you think Burning Hatred is just more enjoyable because you have so much more Fury, then go ahead and do that. But I do think that this change is very good, where you don't want to Chaos Strike unless you're about to cap. It feels a little weird at first, but you will eventually get used to it. And I do think the damage is there. So I really recommend you people check this out. I think it'd be really good for you. So again, we'll go over the numbers one last time before I sign off here. Blind Fury is roughly 60 Fury every minute. Burning Hatred is roughly 133 Fury every minute. But Blind Fury is giving you that Fury in the most important window, which is your burst window. As well, the 10% damage on I-beam is a massive, massive deal. I-beams deal so much damage. Let's go up here again. I just push I-beam once. You can see that it's doing a lot of damage. 500,000 on 5 targets with just 1 cast. So that's a big, big chunk of damage. So really, I do recommend people try this out. It feels weird at first to not Chaos Strike, but you eventually get used to it. And I do think that making this swap over to Blind Fury will give you a lot more damage and keys overall. Maybe, something to think about and try out. That is going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below if you tried this out, what you think about it, how you feel about having less Fury and thus Chaos Striking less. But in the end, I do think this is going to be better. So with that, leave a like, drop a comment, hit the sub button as well, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Have a good day. A big shout out to my YouTube channel members, Dimidam and Flapjack67. Your guys' support has really helped me make these videos as good as I can. If you're looking to support me and help me make more videos and better videos, then click the link in the description below to learn more about channel membership and get a ton of sweet perks while you help me make this channel as great as it can. Thank you.